Hey, hello there. Welcome to this week's Coffee Talk, our expression of connection in these physically distant days. And so glad you're tuning in, joining us this morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever time of day you turn us on. We're just so glad that we have a few minutes this week to connect. It was Mother's Day on Sunday, and I trust that you did something to celebrate Mom, to say, hey, we would love to know what you did. And so if you took a picture, hopefully there's some evidence.
You took a picture.
Hopefully. I know, that's what like Sheena's thing every year is like, I want a picture with my kids and hopefully they'll be smiling, and so we thought would be great to, maybe as a way of connecting. Why don't you jump on our Facebook, our LA Lakeview Heights Baptist Church Facebook page and share the picture with our like group if you're a part of it. And so love to see what you did, how you were celebrated if you were a mom, or what you did to celebrate your mom. Or whatever, and it was good. I do not have a picture of what I did for my mom. I just phoned her. That was it. It was sort of like, hey mom, how you doing? So it was a phone call on Sunday. It was one of those, I think she was just going down for a nap, and because I'm like, hey dad, he's like, oh, she's just, I'll check, but you would have never known. She sounded wide awake. It's funny how some moms are like that. Oh, I get a call from the kids. I gotta look up. But it was good. It was a good Mother's Day, and yeah. And
with that, just a reminder that like between Mother's Day and Father's Day, we're encouraging you to give to the Okanagan Valley Pregnancy Care Center, because it's part of our baby bottle brigade, part of their baby bottle brigade, and just a really good thing that we would encourage you to be supporting. We'll have a link here on the bottom of where you can go to support that. There's also a link on the church page at lakeviewheightsbaptist.ca/donate. There's a link to their website, and you can donate there. You're not donating through Lakeview. You're actually donating directly to the Pregnancy Counseling Center, care center.
Yeah, I think it's care center.
Care center. Yeah. So just we encourage you to just be a part of that. It's a really good thing to do, and this is just a great time, Mother's Day to Father's Day.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. It's a good month. My kids are even asking, Dad, when's Father's Day? I'm like, yeah, you start planning. It'll be good. I've learned a few things this week, and I thought it might be good also for us just to kind of think about. I'd encourage you to think, what is something new you've learned recently? I know the kids are still in school. I've wrapped up my classes for the semester, but there's always new things to learn. So for example, this week, I was very excited. I don't know who the genius was that came up with this, but someone has started calling geese like cobra chickens or cobra death chickens. And I just think it's one of the most beautiful things. Like, I'm a big fan of the nickname Trash Panda for raccoons as well. I love that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But every time I see geese now, it's the cobra death chicken. I just think it's beautiful and accurate. And so what have you been learning this week? Hopefully, maybe it's something silly like that. Maybe it's something serious.
Maybe it's third grade math.
Maybe. Oh man, I think I shared it. I can't remember if I shared it here or not. 2-3 weeks ago, Makai had one of those math problems, and I was home. I was supposed to be the one on homeschooling that day, and I was like, I'm done. I don't know, grade 5 math. I'm out of it. I'm like, this is unfortunate. This is seriously unfortunate. I'm like messaging Sheena. She's at work, but I'm like, how do you do this? And then I'm like, I can't believe I'm at this phase already where I can't do the math.
I learned what War and Peace was about. It's a very random Google search that I did.
Yeah.
I had never read the book.
Okay.
So I still have no idea.
I assume it's about war and peace, but that's a big assumption.
Technically about war and peace, but I think it's more like the characters that they follow. That was something I had never known before.
Yeah, there you go. I also learned this week that Twinkies have expiry dates.
Which is shocking.
I know, you would think they would live forever. Like some sort of like survive a nuclear holocaust kind of thing. I was digging around cleaning, actually throwing out junk in the youth room, and then I found this pack of Twinkies, and it said expired in November of 2018. And
which means,
what does that mean?
When were they made? Like, would that have been like 2012 2012, 2015.
I don't know. It does not say that on the package. But then I got thinking, I don't think I've ever had a Twinkie. Maybe I have.
Really?
I just don't know if I have. And I don't know if this is how they're supposed to smell. I think, they're like, first off, stuck to the packaging.
A little bit squished.
A little squished. They just, I don't know. There's just something weird about them, right? Like, I'll take this one. We found, anyways, so I've seen on the internet where people have like left them out forever just to see what they do.
Cheers.
You're gonna try it?
I'm gonna do it. It's for science.
It's for science? All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see. So if we're violently ill later.
Oh, yeah. If the service doesn't come off, you'll know why.
That tastes like chemicals and death. You think of all the things.
It's a little dry. Not bad. A little bit dry.
So, which also makes me think there's a lot going on these days. As much as we talk about what's not going on these days, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like even today, noticing in the kitchen, it's like Cheryl used to every now and then clean the fridge out of like all the containers we'd leave in there that are growing mold. Or like I found a container of dip that expired in December. Okay, did not try it. I just want to be clear in case you're watching this. So things are hitting the trash. You ate the whole thing? That's brave.
We're committing.
I'm thinking of how am I going to talk and eat a dry Twinkie at the same time. But anyways, stuff is happening. That's what I'm trying to say is there is so much going on around here that is easy to not know about.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. So we hopefully are gathering around this coffee talk and being able to share it. This is really our weekly announcements. If you'll notice, we don't do announcements on a Sunday morning, specifically because this is what this is. And so this is a gathering point. On Sunday morning, we gather around a service. Yeah. And yet, there's a lot of other stuff that's happening in the background. One of the things is that there's behind the scenes people to help make a lot of this happen. Quite often we will have somebody who is behind the camera or doing sound, or even with Ursula in the office. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of people that happen kind of behind the scenes, and so we just want to kind of point that out a little bit, and maybe even do a little bit of a behind the scenes tour for you here.
Since our last large physical gatherings as a church on March 15th, much has happened to keep our Sunday morning service times continuing, and it takes many people working together to make it all happen. Along with the people you see on camera, there are a few you don't see that we'd like to say thanks to. Jens, Tom, Tegan, Don, Tyler, Arnold, Isabel, and Devin. One of the things that has happened in the last few weeks is an upgrade to the lighting that was planned in 2018, began in 2019, and now has been completed this month in May 2020. Hopefully you won't even know anything changed because it's not the focus of our gathering, but hopefully it will make things better and easier for our weekly production crew. Thanks. We'll see you on Sunday on YouTube or on our website.
So hopefully that gives you a better idea of some of the stuff that happens, not just week to week, but even just every now and then. Thank you to a lot of the people that they throw their hat in the ring and say, I want to help. And there's been a lot of other people who have been saying, how can I help? How can I help? And we'll get to those very soon. We want to be highlighting some of those things, and so thank you for your willingness and realizing that this is your church. This is not my church, not your church. This is our church that we are sharing together, and so we want to include a lot more people with it and utilize a lot of the gifts that are happening around here. So thank you for that. I had a conversation with a gentleman even just this morning, and he's like,
Oh, hard to think that, what did he say? In 1 month, the days will start getting shorter. And I went, I didn't need to hear that. You know?
That's a bit of a downturn.
But, because it came on the heels of saying that summer's fast approaching. And, which is true. And so, it feels so, like a week before last, Joella was like, this is the perfect weather. Can it just be like this all year? And I thought, yeah, you're my kid. This is awesome. Spring is one of my two favorite seasons.
It feels actually like a slightly cold summer.
Yeah, totally.
That's where we're at right now.
Which is perfect for me.
I'm good with it.
But summer's coming, and so one of the things normally we would be like pumping out at you tons of like VBS stuff. You'd probably be getting sick of hearing it, seeing posters. We'd be talking about it in church, and you'd be getting calls for recruiting. Well, we're still trying to work out what VBS is going to look like, but very likely there will be some form of here's how to engage kids in faith discussions. Likely at home. We just don't know. Like, it feels like I'm hopeful that at any week, it's going to be like, sure, have 20 kids here, but then you have that whole, do we go, like, if we have to keep them 2 meters or 3 Canada geese apart? That's sorry.
Two lightsabers as well.
Two lights. Yeah, there's lots of ways of measuring this, but I can't, like, it's hard enough. Those of you who've worked. If you're a parent, you're homeschooling your kid. You know what it's like, right? But to get them to not slobber all over each other, it's tough enough to get them just to follow directions.
We
exactly.
Lots of wrestling,
right? Which is fine when you're siblings, but it's like, anyways, we're working on it in talks, trying to figure out what VBS is going to like. So stay tuned. If you're a parent with kids in that age, you should have got an email this week. We're looking for some feedback on how we can. As we put the plan together. So if you haven't responded, I'd love to hear from you. Those of you who have responded, thank you for being prompt. Subfamilies were on it within an hour. And I don't want to shame those who weren't, but those who were really, really appreciate it. And so... Sorry, I'm chuckling in my head. I'm going, the next morning I had to say to my wife, hey, did you get the email? I just said I'm not going to shame anyone, but I'll deal with that one later. So stay tuned. That's what I'm trying to say is more coming because we want to point kids to Jesus, and that's really that's it. And so we'll be talking more about that as the days roll on, as we get closer to summer. Enjoy the fact that the days are still getting longer and warmer, hopefully. And did you see the lightning last night?
No.
Oh man, it was during our life group. I'm looking out over my kitchen, which faces towards Kelowna, and there's lightning over the lake. I'm like, this is awesome. I almost ditched. No, I didn't want to ditch our life group, but I thought for a moment, I'm like, if I just walk to the window right now?
Truth comes out.
Anyways, so enjoy the fact that it's spring. Dig up some pictures of what you did last Sunday for Mom and share those. We'd love to hear it. Be thinking about what are you learning these days, and feel free to pass that on too. We'd love to hear from you guys. And not we'll see you Sunday, if not sooner. Yep. That tastes so bad.
It wasn't terrible. It was just dry.
Oh, no.